Ready? Matar asked me and took my hand. I nodded. Let's go shopping. He slapped his tail on the ground, a gesture that I'd learned is close to him rolling his eyes. All three males didn't seem to think much of shopping, but I'd assured them that it was an essential pastime for Puritan women. I may have accidentally let them believe that it was necessary for us to survive. Oops. Remember the lesson, Xyl told the guys. We showed Thrish the best shops, and we'll buy her whatever she looks at for at least 30 Puritan seconds. Some things we can buy in front of her, others we will have to do in secret to surprise her later. You know I can hear you, right? Xyl ignored me. We do have a budget, so let's avoid the more expensive places. No trip to the exotics market for you, Havel. We can't afford that. It was kind of sweet how they'd planned this entire trip with the same academic fervor they'd shown during the abduction, probing, and mating. I knew they loved me, just like I loved them, and it wasn't all just because we were a part of Professor Catalla's course. Matar, Havel, remember that this excursion won't be filmed for the IGU, Xyl reminded them as if he'd read my mind. We will have to write a detailed report later on, so maybe make some notes. We don't want to disappoint the professor. His last sentence was dripping with sarcasm. None of us was thrilled with the arrangement, but it had been the only way for them to pass their alien abduction for beginners course. In return for a good grade, we agreed to act as a case study for Professor Catalla's alien abduction for professionals class. The guys were given lessons every week that we then had to put into practice. This, taking me into a public place, was the very first one since we'd signed the contract. To be fair, the lesson wasn't technically about going shopping. That was just a bonus. No, they were supposed to expose me to other aliens without becoming jealous. They were also told to make sure I felt safe and didn't panic. But I didn't see much chance of that happening. I was buzzing with excitement, and there was no space for fear or worry. Depressurizing complete, the computer announced, and the airlock door slid open, revealing a massive hangar full of spaceships. It was big enough for at least 4 football pitches, maybe more. The ceiling was so high that I couldn't see how far it reached. All around us, the noise of engines, machines, and aliens talking in dozens of languages pushed against my ears, making me stumble back. I hadn't expected it to be quite this intense. Even though I was sure those ships ran on a fuel not found on Earth, the air smelled of oil and petrol. Xyl put his hand on the small of my back and gently pushed me forward, out of the jade and into the chaos of Kit Y6. Circling around strange-looking spaceships, we hurried out of the hangar to a sleek elevator. Hop in, Matar said with a grin. He seemed just as excited as me about being on the space station.